Hello everyone, myself Amita Maheswari. Today we are going to study Business Studies for class 11th, chapter 2, Forms of Business Organization. Our topic is sole proprietorship. Now we are going to study forms of private sector undertakings. We have already studied that there are two types of sector in our country: public sector, that is government, and private sector, that is for private people. So let us see what are the forms of private sector undertakings. First is non-corporate enterprises and second is corporate enterprises. In the non-corporate enterprises, there are three types of firms: sole proprietorship, partnership, and joint Hindu family business. Sole proprietorship means a single person is going to run his business. Partnership means two people are having partnership in the business, and joint family means whole business is involved in the business. Corporate enterprises means cooperative societies, means some group of people are having a single business together. Joint stock companies means some of the companies together made joint, they have make a company and they are running the company together. We are going to study here sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship means a one man business, as he invests the entire capital, bears all the risk, takes all the advantages, and manages the business by himself. So he is going to all these tasks himself. He is going to invest whatever he have in the business. He is only the risk bearer if in case he incurs any loss. Whatever advantages he'll get, profits or whatever, that he is only going to get, and all the activities in the business is also being managed by himself. So it is also called as individual proprietorship. Now what are the features of the sole proprietorship? First one, formation and closure is easy. Less formalities as it has no separate law. There is no separate law for the proprietorship, that if any person is running his own business, then there should be such laws available in the government offices. No. So if any person want to start any business individually, he can start very easily without any formalities or very less formalities. And if he is incurring any losses, he can close also. Second is unlimited liability. Even the personal properties are held liable to meet the liabilities of the firm. In case if he has taken loan from the bank to run his business, to bring new technologies or something, then his personal properties are also involved in the liabilities. Means he can keep the his property papers to the bank to get the loan, or uh, to meet the liabilities of the firm. Sole risk bearer and profit recipient. All the risks on his shoulder and the entire profit enjoyed by him. Whatever risk he is going to take, whatever uh, losses, that whole loss is being a whole burden is being shouldered by him, as well as if he is going to earn profit, that is also being enjoyed only by him. Control. Complete control of business is held with the proprietor himself. Whole business is being managed, purchasing, selling, distribution, everything is being done by the sole proprietor. No separate entity for business form from the businessman. Businessman and business is same. The owner is held liable for all the activities of the business. He is only business, and uh, business is uh, because of him only. Lack of continuity. Since the business and owner are one and the same entity, his death, insanity, etc. will affect the existence of business. In case if he is not available, if he get die due to some other reason, or he is having any mental problem or any physical problem, the business definitely will get affected, because he is only the sole whole and soul of the business. Now, what are the merits of the sole proprietorship? Quick decision making, no need to consult with others. This type of business people, they immediately take decisions regarding the business, to expand their business, to close the business, or to purchase new stock or anything, at what price he want to sell his goods, whatever, he is only the decision maker. Confidentiality of information, secrecy can be maintained, as he is only doing all the activities related to the business. So whatever decision he is taking, he can keep that decision confidential, secret within him. Direct incentive, all the profit goes to the proprietor. Means if he is having any losses, then he is going to bear the loss, but in case whatever profit, even of 1 rupee, that whole profit is being benefited by the proprietor alone. Sense of accomplishment, personal satisfaction by working for himself. If he, for example, a seller is going to sell more goods in a day, then he will be having that sense of satisfaction, personal satisfaction, that he did something good, and he achieved something good. So sense of accomplishment by taking any decision or whatever, he will get. Ease of formation and closure, minimum legal formalities if he want to form any business or he want to close any business, very less formalities, only he need to register his business, whatever he is going to start, to the government, and before that also he can start the business. Now, what are the limitations of the sole proprietorship? Limited resources, as a businessman alone is going to invest in the business, and maybe he has to take loan also, but still the capital is limited, and the size of business is small comparing to the other business firms. Limited life, as the business has no separate legal entity, so he cannot expand the business more and more. He has the life of the business is limited. Unlimited liability, even the personal properties are attached. In case he is incurring any loss, and he has taken loan from the bank, then he has to lose his properties also in paying of the bank loan. Limited managerial ability, the proprietor may not be efficient in all managerial functions. He is the manager of the business, but it is not necessary that he has all the skills how to run the business. So in this situation, it may happen that he cannot able to perform well. So thank you all.